Hey everybody, Mntdewmania here. Welcome back to us. Didn't say Vox Populi. Talking about our today's rant. I am on my server. I'm on my server for a reason. Today's subject is going to be very touchy and sensitive, and so I didn't want anybody to think that I represented Vox in any way. This is a um, personal, touchy subject. So I thought I would do it on my own server. Okay? And with that being said, today's rant is the letter R. R is for racism. Yeah. Boy, I just jumped right in the fire, didn't I? This is probably one of the most touchiest subjects on the planet. Now, if you do not know what racism is, I did stop by the handy dandy dictionary on the way here. Racism is the hatred or intolerance of another race or other races. It will be probably until the end of time a powder keg with a match held right to it of contention. I would like to think that we have improved as a people um, better than we were 50 or 100 years ago. I don't know if we have. Um, Sometimes it doesn't seem that way, does it? Every day there's something in the paper or something in the media about somebody that has been killed or hurt, injured because of racism. Simply because somebody didn't like the race that somebody else was, and that was enough. That was enough to end a life or several lives. Okay, and it's sad that we do hate so blindly without even ever giving people a chance. You know, we're so quick to have somebody on our bandwagon, the cheering section, and to be right that sometimes we get into groups and situations that we probably shouldn't. And that's a sad thing, too. But that's what we all want. When we think we're right, we want to be around people who make us seem right, you know? Uh, I'm not going to stay in your group if you don't believe what I believe, you know? Um, I'll just go find another group that does believe what I believe. So it can get scary and daunting sometimes, especially when you've never been exposed to it. Now, being from the South, of course, it's been part of my life. Um, I can, it can get, scary, and especially when you don't really understand it, but that's what you're taught. Now, with that being said, the first quote of the day is probably the cutest. It's from Dennis Leary. Um, Racism isn't born, folks, it's taught. I have a 2-year-old son. You know what he hates? Naps. End of list. And that is as simple as it should get when we are teaching our children. If you want to hate something, hate broccoli and naps, okay? Um, race has been probably part of every war ever been fought on this planet. Race has been some sort um, of contributing issue. I think it's just it's part of it's. I think it's part of genetic makeup. Sometimes it seems that way. I know it's not, but it just it's like if you're born in a certain part of the world, you have to hate another race. That's just, and it's ridiculous and it's sick. And we can't seem to break out of the cycle, can we? As much as we've had some great leaders in our time, we can't seem to just get away from it. It's sad that people are judged, I mean, not by what they contribute or what they do, but just by what race they are. You know, it's, I mean, I just, and do not think for an instant that race is black and white. No. Um, Racism is probably, whatever race you are on this planet, somebody somewhere hates you simply because they don't know you. They'll probably never meet you, but they're going to hate you and bunch you together, and, you know, just because of whatever race you are. And that's it. That's all. Um, they're not going to ask you questions. Well, what do you think about? They could care less. They hate you because you're whatever race. Okay. Um, Malcolm X said, "I'm not a racist. I'm against every form of racism and segregation, every form of discrimination. I believe in human beings and that all human beings should be respectful as such, regardless of their color." Yeah, we should. Are we? No. Will we all ever be? I doubt it seriously. Because when you hate something, you sooner or later are going to, if you look hard enough, you're going to find other people that hate the same thing you do. And it'll never die. I would like to think, like I said, that we have improved over the last century. If we have, um, it's one of those cases where even though we've taken some steps forward, we've probably taken just as many back. Okay? So we never seem to make any progress, do we? A little, but not enough where we should be patting ourselves on the back yet. You know? It's it's sad that so many people have dreamed of, no more racism. And I'm not talking, black or white or whatever, just good people who have tried to change the world and make it a better place for everybody. And, it's just like they died for nothing. Because we as a people just can't get it together, can we? It's no, I mean, no, I'll never change. I'll never teach my children any different. Um, but we're going to have to, you know? I mean, if you're going to, Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Because I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." If you have to judge anybody, and we've talked about judging people, then judge them by what they do. You know, do they contribute to society? Are they a hard worker? They take care of their family. Um, they're helping the community. They try to make the world a better place than where they, is that what you're judging them on? Are you so full of hate and you've been taught this hate your whole life that you could care less that they go out and help the elderly every week and they pick up trash and they recycle and try to make the planet a better place? That doesn't matter. None of that matters. It doesn't matter that they, hate animal cruelty and try to stop that. That doesn't matter. What matters is what race they are, and that's all. And that's all you see, and that's all you'll ever see. And that's what you're going to teach your children to see. Nobody cares that they help little old ladies across the street. We care that they're purple, green, black, white, orange, yellow, whatever. That's what matters. That's the only thing that matters. We hate blindly, don't we? We hate because our parents hated and our grandparents hated and my whole family has always hated and they always will hate. That's just the way I was raised, you know. And who am I to go against tradition? And sometimes it's as simple as that. People hate because their families hated. And I mean, a lot of it is. A lot of it is, it's what we teach our kids. Now, I would like to think that I have never taught my children, and my daughter has actually asked me this once, when, because I've never, hopefully, never talked about race. You know, well, you can't date so and so because they're this race. You can't like so and so because, you can't hang out with so and so. Hopefully, I pray to God I have never said that to my children. I don't think I have. I don't think, I mean, I can hate individuals, but hopefully I have never hated because of race. And have I failed at that somewhere in my life? Probably. Um, Probably have. Did I do it intentionally? I hope not. Did I do it through stupidity? Probably. Did I get caught up in somebody else's hype? You know, yeah, probably. I stopped and thought, well, maybe they're right. Maybe. But we do. We get swept up in it, don't we? We get swept up in how many people are screaming at the top of their lungs, and the media, you know. And it's cool to be part of a group that believes what we believe, and how strong we are together, and you know, and you can just get lost in it. But it's scary how, you know, because sometimes you hear what you want to hear. And if you don't hear what you want to hear, you'll go where you can hear what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Um, if I want you guys to, especially the younger guys, I want you to put this book on your reading bucket list, if you will. Something you should read before you die. By Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. One of the best lines I think I have ever read in a book. People generally see what they long for and hear what they listen for. And we do, don't we? We, if you're not saying what I want to hear, I'm going to go find somebody that is. Then I'm right. But mostly, you hate because, you know, somebody says you're wrong. That's all it is. And, well, that hate grows, doesn't it? And it grows and it festers. And if one person of this race thinks I'm wrong, well, then they all do. And I'm not wrong, you're wrong. And then people tell you, well, no, that's awful. No, you can't say that. That's an awful thing to say. But you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear you're wrong. So you hang around with people who say you're right. And they're doing the same thing. They want you to validate them. And it just grows. And it grows. And it becomes a movement. And then before long, it's a war. You know? And sometimes, the fuel is it's just so hot and magnificent and wonderful, you just can't get enough of it. Sometimes you finally realize, well, how in the world did I get here in this mess, hating these people that I don't even know? But by then, it's too late to get out of it. And even if it's not, you don't know how. Well, I can't say anything now. I can't tell, so and so that they're wrong. Well, I mean, what are they going to think about it? They'll hate me, you know. And I know how much they hate. I don't want to, I don't want to hate me. So I'll just stand here and go along with it. You hate so and so? Yeah, yeah. Oh God, I can't stand them. But you don't really. You just don't know how to say that you don't anymore. Because in that deep part of your soul that you try not to listen to, because it's kind of scary. It's wrong. You just don't know how to get out of it. Muhammad Ali said, hating people because of their color is wrong. And it doesn't matter which color does the hating. It's just plain wrong. Now, to generalize, most people, when they think of racism, they think black and white. Because probably that is what is always in the media. Okay? But it probably depends on what part of the world you're in, too. You know? Um, so, do not think that racism is black and white. It's every race on this planet. Somebody hates that race blindly and stupidly. It doesn't matter if there are 20 of you, you know, you are hated because you are not the same as somebody else. You know, if your race, you know, includes a certain religion, well, that's part of it too. You know, um, if there are 10 Martians on this planet, then, you know, those people are hated because they're Martians. And it doesn't, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just a never ending, because we just can't get past our own stupidity, can we? I mean, as much as we see how racism is destroying lives every day, we can't get past the stupid. It's like it's just bred into us. So it is up to each of us. I mean, if you're a parent, then it's up to you, you know, it's time to break this vicious cycle. I mean, how many more wars can be fought? How many more lives are we going to end just over, you know, somebody's race? I mean, it's tiring. It is so tiring and pointless and stupid. And it's a shame, because in all the thousands of years of racism, do not think that racism is a couple hundred years old. No. Since the first caveman figured out that the caveman in the cave next to him wasn't the same, you know, his brow ridges were a little different. It's been going on that long, okay? Do not think for 1 second that racism is a new and terrifying thing. It is an old and terrifying thing. It's been around for millennia, I'm sure. So, do not think this is some kind of new concept. But is there a way to stop it? Yeah. Quit teaching your children to be racist. You know, teach them that race has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't make a person who they are. It doesn't shape a person's character. Alright? I don't care what kind. I mean, you know, I have seen racism so bad that people will put their children's lives at stake if the doctor they are taking their children to is the wrong race. I would rather have my child die than to be seen by that doctor. I have seen it personally. And I was in shock. I was in shock. I couldn't believe the stupidity I was witnessing. You would rather, here is this brilliant doctor, and they could make your child better, who you claim is the center of your universe. You would die for them instantly. This doctor can help them And they are not going to touch your child because of the race they are. Now, I don't know about you folks, but that's got to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't even contemplate. You know? I mean, come on. But I have seen it that bad. I would like to think that I have taught my children a little better. My daughter asked me one time when she first started dating, okay, as far as I can remember, I hope I have never said to my children, you can't hang around so-and-so because they're this race or this color. You can't date so-and-so because they're this race or color, okay? I hope to God I have never said that. So, but my daughter asked me one time, well, what if I wanted to date so and so? And I mean, I know what race so and so. It doesn't matter. My response was, it doesn't matter. If so and so treats you right and with respect, and and kindness, that's what is important. It doesn't matter what color their skin is. It doesn't matter what race they're from. Because in the end, folks, we need to all be of the human race. That's the only race that we should ever be concerned about. And I'm telling you, we need to get with it. Because every war that's ever been fought on this planet, racism was a part of it somehow. I guarantee it. It might, it could have been, politics or religion, but race, somebody joined that war because of the race. I guarantee it. And I'm right. They could care less about politics or religion. I want to go fight in this war because I hate this race. And they all need to be wiped off the planet, and I'm going to go help do it. That was all the motivation that some people need. And we are we're killing ourselves. This world cannot, how much longer do we have to, how much more time does everybody think we have? We are destroying our futures, with this stupidity. When are we ever going to learn? How many more people have to die so, you can be right? I mean, really, do you hate people that much? I mean, sometimes it's just dumbfounding how cruel people can be. And don't think that sometimes it's our own fault, isn't it, that things get, sure it is. And I'm talking media cover, How many times has something escalated because it had a camera on it? Well, yeah, that's news. That sells. Well, yeah, it's a big deal now because you shoved a camera in it. It would have probably ended peacefully, but somebody saw their chance at fame, and they got stupid, and it just blew up. So yeah, sometimes it's, something that could have been solved peacefully and quietly turns into this big media show, and then there you go. There's the catalyst. There's the person shouting the loudest. Yep, I need on that bandwagon. And it starts right back up. So we can't seem to learn from our mistakes, can we? I would like to think that you know, we have achieved more than that. Abraham Lincoln said, achievement has no color. I would like to believe that. I would like to think people are concentrating more on the human race than, anything else. So that's it for today. I know this was a very tough subject, but it was something that I wanted to talk about for a long time, and I think it needs to be talked about and, not ignored and shoved under the rug because it's painful to talk about. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, do you think we've, as a whole world, do you think we've made any kind of progress? And are we any closer to realizing dreams of people just getting along? Alright, that's it for now, guys. This is Mntdewmania, and I hope today's episode was thought provoking. And I will see you next time. I'm so out of here. Later, guys.